What is going on, my crazy 76er fanatics? Thanks for stopping back in for another daily pod with your daily 76er discourse and information. Guys, I want to thank every one of you who've liked, who've commented, and who have subscribed. Thanks for keeping this channel going. Thanks for keeping the conversation flowing. Thanks for stopping in and watching another video with your daily discourse from, your favorite channel. I appreciate you guys so much for stopping in and helping us out over here. And that's exactly how I think Sixers fans would feel about Paul George if he did his job extremely well. If you haven't seen, guys, check out the interweb. Open up Twitter, type in Sixers, and the first videos you should see should be Paul George with I Show Speed. If you don't know the streaming game, I Show Speed is one of the most popular, one of the most infamous, and world-renowned streamers globally. He's that big, guys. Globally, I Show Speed is known. And Paul George was giving him the tour of Philly. Initial reactions to that, guys, it's kind of problematic. From a Philadelphia fan standpoint, and I think from anyone's standpoint who's watched Paul George play recently, it's kind of problematic. You're a max contract player who many fans are speculating you have 1 foot in the door and 1 foot out of the door for your NBA career. And every time you see Paul George doing anything impactful or anything big, it's off of the court. It's just not something that you want to see. But what you did get to see, what you did get to hear, some inside scoops from PG, if we can call him that. I Show Speed slides to the car and goes, "Hey, man, you from Philly?" "No, I ain't from Philly." And I ain't a body language reader, but I can say that Paul George is not necessarily loving the city, messing with Philly. And I'm not saying he truly wants to be here. I think his contract has him staying here. Didn't seem like he loved the city of Philadelphia. Another thing that I Show Speed says is, how y'all looking this year, man? What's going on? Paul George says, we good. We straight. We healthy. A very short answer, a very quick answer, but it could be a perfect answer. Because if that's true, guys, if the Sixers are good, if everything's in order, and if they are healthy, then what's stopping this team from competing? Now, the problem with that is it's clearly a lie. Paul George is clearly just lying through his teeth, because what's healthy about this team with Joel Embiid still not expected to be there for training camp? What's healthy about a Paul George rehab recovery who's also not expected to be there at the start of training camp? What's healthy about a Jared McCain who just had conversations about his performance and his expectations for training camp? There's a lot of players whose training camp availability is up in the air. So the health of this team, saying that we're good, everything's okay, we're healthy, seems like Paul George just trying to save face. But what else are you supposed to do when you're, again, on a globally televised stream? I Show Speed is that big. On the bright side, because I want to give Paul George his flowers, he did give the Philadelphia Sixers team, he did give the Philadelphia Sixers fans and the fan base globally a chance to enjoy their team, see a little bit of the players, get to enjoy the city. And of course, it is good representation for the NBA as a brand, the National Business Association, because it's a business first, to get more eyes, more exposure on European and across the waters and outside of the country. So Paul George did do that and did help not only the league, but also help the team. And hey, if Adam Silver, we get more international views and they're watching more Sixer games, give us friendlier whistles. Yeah, just give those Sixer teams and fans friendlier whistles. Speaking of something that's not so friendly, bad news, Barry. What the heck is going on with your guy, Kawhi? Guys, this is breaking news, which is exactly why we're breaking it today. Kawhi seems to be in financial trouble. Not that he's not getting paid, it's that Kawhi's being overpaid. Apparently, there's a scandal going on where Kawhi was paid by Aspire, a tree planting company, to be an endorser and to be an ambassador for the company. He was paid $28 million to endorse the company. Now, thanks to Pablo Toro, a journalist out there who, it's always the journalist doing the deep dive, the deep discovery, and the snitching. Because he found out that there has been no public endorsement of Kawhi for the this Aspire company that just went bankrupt. And in the bankruptcy files, it says that Steve Ballmer, who's the quiet head of this company, signed off on giving Kawhi Leonard a $28 million endorsement deal right around contract time to circumvent the salary cap. Now, this right here, guys, is an illegal maneuver. This may not be a scandal. This may be factual and actual. And if that's the case, Adam Silver is going to get right to the punishment, right to, we'll talk about the punishments, guys. But the problem with this right here is that, again, if Kawhi was paid $28 million to endorse a company that he, one, never endorsed, and basically to circumvent and to go around the salary cap, guys, that is good news for your Sixers. You know those Sixers have those first-round picks in 28 and 29 from those Clippers. With the Clippers' first and second-round picks, those Sixers do hold the future and also do logjam what Adam Silver will be able to do because they don't have too much draft capital to expunge, to pull back from them. So with that being said, the punishment potential and the punishment opportunities they have, they can void Kawhi's contract. They can just void his contract, which I think that may be a favor to the Clippers. I don't know if that's good news or bad news, voiding his contract, because they are in a logjam of salary cap minutia. They could suspend him outright, suspend him without pay, which I think is probably the more likely route Adam Silver will go. They'll probably fine the team, which is, I think, exactly what Adam Silver would do. But here's where it really gets interesting, guys, because this is stuff that has nothing to do with you, me, or I. But Steve Ballmer may be forced to step down from the team. Steve Ballmer may be forced to take a leave of absence from the team. That's big. I mean, guys, that's big. Now, there was some precedent set, I think, back in 1999 when Joe Smith did this with the Atlanta Hawks or the Minnesota Timberwolves. This was also a David Stern NBA. I want you guys to remember, this was a David Stern NBA. The Timberwolves had to forfeit 5 first-round picks. They had a $3.5 million fine, which in today's day and age, you got to just do the inflation rate. That's got to be like $11 million, right? It's got to be like $11 million, something like that. Smith's contract was also voided, which, again, I think is the route that Adam Silver's going to have to go, voiding Kawhi's contract, which means the Clippers are going to be a worse team with worse contract situations. And they're going to be losing Kawhi to the open market if he decides or if he's allowed to play this season, which he may be suspended for a whole season, which may be entering the retirement of Kawhi. We're not really sure where this punishment's going to go, guys. But wherever this punishment does lead, the Sixers still have their first-round picks in 2028. So with the Sixers holding the Clippers' first-round pick, it does limit their opportunity, does limit their potential, and it does limit how Adam Silver can punish this team outside of suspending Kawhi, voiding contracts, fining the squad, and limiting the GM and the management roles that Steve Ballmer has. I don't know what else other punishment he could potentially do. I mean, you can't say they're exempt from playoffs. That's a non-compete. You can't do that in the professional league. You can't tell a professional team they can't compete. I'm interested to see where this punishment goes, guys, because from Pablo Torres' journalism skills, guys, it's pretty concrete. They have it in writing. They have testimonials. I don't know if he's a federal agent. I think he just did federal work for the agency for free. We got to talk about what Pablo's really up to behind the scenes, guys. Also behind the scenes, I think this could mean a problem for Philadelphia. The Sixers did sign Paul George to a max contract. Paul George did go to a city that, again, anytime he talks about it, he doesn't seem to have really fair and fond aspirations or opinions about the city. Anytime he talks about Philly, guys, he seems like, I'm just here because of the money. So if Steve Ballmer went around the loopholes to make sure Kawhi got his money, and the Sixers have already been suspended and fined for contacting free agents before the free agent period and doing things behind closed doors that is considered extremely dirty, could this be a problem for Philadelphia? Because Daryl Morey isn't the cleanest of GMs. Daryl Morey isn't on the up and up. And if Steve Ballmer is getting suspended, if Steve Ballmer is getting a leave of absence, hopefully Steve Ballmer isn't doing the Pablo Toro and telling everyone else the secrets. Hopefully not. But I do have concerns that Philadelphia and the Daryl Morey Philadelphia 76er team could potentially be part of another or the next scandal. That's a concern. That's a very fair concern. And another fair concern I have, guys, is what's going on with the comment game? Did you leave a comment? Like, comment, and subscribe, guys. We appreciate all you guys who stop in, drop in, like, comment, and subscribe to our videos. We've got another one for you tomorrow, guys. So if you leave a comment or two, we read more than a few. We've got you covered. Just make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate it. Thanks for keeping the channel going, and we'll keep the channel flowing with another video tomorrow and some updates about this Kawhi madness, how that does impact the draft pick. Because, again, Adam Silver's not taking that from Philadelphia. It's already ours now, Adam. You can't give or take what's theirs or was theirs from us. It's not coming from our pockets. So that draft pick is ours and it's safe. But how bad this team will be, what trajectory this team takes, and will this team start to tank? We got to figure all that stuff out, guys. We got to figure all that stuff out. And that will be talked about in some of our upcoming videos. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, guys.